Priscilla.
Nervous.
Did you ever? Oh, don't be nervous. I'm nervous. I'm all a Twitter. Have you ever seen that movie Priscilla, Queen of the Desert?
Yes, I did, and I was so frustrated when I found out it was the bus. It just happens.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that they could see and touch.
I like to start it off by doing like a before and after for the whole Jurassic World franchise. How was it like shooting the first movie compared to shooting this one?
I mean, the first one was really fun, and
Yes.
and I feel like the entire time we felt like we were getting away with something,
Right?
Because it was sort of under the radar in the weirdest way.
Completely.
Yeah. Whereas this we knew kind of what was happening.
Yeah, we knew how epic this felt because this was the finale to both the beloved Jurassic World franchise, but as well Jurassic Park. And so you're seeing both of these kind of beloved casts converge on the same story in the same movie. So it's really unlike anything else except for, maybe Star Wars has done that. Some Marvel did that with the Avengers. And here it's happening in the Jurassic cinematic universe.
And I can only imagine how much has changed since the first movie, like back in '93, to this one. But besides technology and CG and stuff like that, what do you think was like the biggest change for you?
Good question, Priscilla. Well, in the last one, I had kind of a little beard, and I wore a suit. I'm just talking about some superficial aspects of the thing. I know your question is deep, but first let me indulge my shallowness. And then in this one, I kind of went back to, intentionally, something that reminded us of the way I looked in the first one. As a matter of fact, I wore this black watch in the first one, and I said, I think we should get a special watch that's a little bit like that. And we made, and it's mine now. I got it. I bought it.
You got it made for you.
Yes, I did.
Wow, it's so cool.
And it has my initials, I am Ian Malcolm, on there, and inside it's got that logo. So this is
So
a watch
pretty.
that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and maybe my sons. I got 2 little boys who are going to see this movie for the first time in movie theaters. Anyway, maybe they'll wear it one day. And I got a pair of glasses that were a little bit like the first one. So I'm just thinking about a couple of things off the top of my head that didn't change all that much. But, the whole world is different from day to day, and certainly from '93. Well, you weren't born. There was no Priscilla.
I was 4.
You were 4. Oh my
was like
God!
just a little
I can
child.
imagine you right now as your 4-year-old self. Wow!
Yeah.
Genetic power has now been unleashed.
The doomsday clock might be about out of time.
Bryson is a name that's been running around the franchise for like quite a while.
Yeah.
And always associated with bad guys. So weren't you afraid to accept the role? Like, will I play a bad guy?
No, actually, I had no idea what the role was going to be like until a couple months before shooting. But no, I would never shy away from a bad guy part. That sounds fun. You kidding me?
You have the permission to be bad.
Yes, thanks.
And what can we expect of Ramsay in this movie?
Just a highly motivated, willing to do it all, no matter the cost, kind of guy. That's one of my favorite things about him. He doesn't have any fat in his actions or words. He's just very to the point, and that's something that was really important to me in talking about it with Colin. So
You're making your first blockbuster movie, like huge size movie,
Yes.
with a character like Kayla, and she's amazing.
Yes.
She's like a badass. What can you tell me about her?
Just that, I feel really honored to be stepping into this space in a very active way. You know what I mean? To actually like be able to play, to run, to jump, to play a character that stands alongside Owen Grady's character, you know what I mean? And have that kind of like, they're both resourceful and capable, and it's a real honor.
And Kayla is such a fierce character. Do you think you share any traits with her?
I think I share a number of traits. I like playing characters with a certain underbelly, you know, with a certain humanity. One, it kind of gives me more permission as an actor. We don't always do the right thing. When we meet Kayla, you know, she's still kind of grappling with certain choices that she's made that have brought her to this like really kind of seedy underground dinosaur smuggling, I don't need to know what the cargo is place, you know. So there are many moments in my life where I'm just kind of like at a crossroads personally, where I'm just like, kind of sick of myself, you know. So I like to believe that I also am all the wonderful and, you know, fun qualities. I'm sure, you know, a lot of the lines were improvised. I'm plenty witty, I'm sure. But, you know, I was more invested in the kind of core of who she is. Everybody hold on to somebody.
You've been working on this franchise, the Jurassic World franchise, for over 7 years now. And then you came with this last installment, like the third movie. Do you think you accomplished everything you wanted to? No dinosaurs left behind now.
There've been a lot of dinosaurs, and for me it's 9 years, because, you know, we started making it earlier, so it's almost like a decade of my life, and I have no concerns that we put enough dinosaurs in the movies. I want to make sure that, you know, did we honor these characters, you know, in a lot of cases characters I didn't create in this film, and just give everybody you know, what they need out of these movies. We don't make a lot of them, right? We make one every 3-4 years, and so each one I hope feels like an event, and you can just tell the care that was put into each one, and the thought and the time, and hopefully it comes through.
Did you feel a bit like John Hammond's famous spare no expense sentence? Did you feel a bit of that, because you filmed in a lot of places and everything was huge about this?
Yeah, you know, each film our resources have gone up, and so our ambition can go up. And we really took advantage of it this time, both in locations and in numbers of animatronics. We have so many in this movie, and sometimes the entire animal is animatronic, sometimes it's a piece of it, but we managed to have a pretty rare scenario where there just weren't any tennis balls. It was always something real.
How do you think is the biggest difference working with animatronics versus CGI, or like mixing both? And
well, it just helps the actors, for me, that they're able to actually look across at something with eyes, and they can see into its soul and feel there actually is life, whether it's a puppeteer or someone, you know, working robotics, there's life behind it.
And did you think that this whole world setting and like this worldwide everything, was it harder for you to like get into it because it's closer to our world?
The fact that this is gone worldwide doesn't necessarily make it more challenging, but it does create more challenges just in locations where you're filming. Now you're in snow, or you're in the ocean, or you're in the air on a jet, on a plane. All of these elements make it a different kind of a movie and offer different types of challenges.
They really took the spare no expense one really seriously with this one.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They did spare no expense. It's true.
You guys essentially lived together for a while shooting for these movies. So how was this experience, and how did you get close to the cast and crew?
You can only get close to the cast and crew. It was ridiculous. Because on one hand, you know, there's no escaping what was happening in the world. Like, there's just none. There's no escaping. There's no sugarcoating it. We absolutely survived a trauma together. But then on the other hand, you're like, but here we are, you know, like, in the spa in the hotel, you know, like having drinks on Friday night, or, you know, like I'm doing your child's hair. It was a real gift, like on top of just, you know, being the first ones back and one of the few actors who was working and making a living at that time, which is already a blessing unto itself. It was, you know, it was a real sense of like peace and calm in a world of storm.
Pretty different from the world you face in the movie as well. So yeah.
Its own kind of chaos.
Yeah, I would say that.
It was really funny to be like, let me go get chased by some dinosaurs. Like, this real world is crazy. Let me just go get chased by some dinosaurs right quick.
That's so cool. Back in 2018, you said that you already knew how you wanted this movie to end. And did it change a lot during from then until now?
Not really. I mean, I would say the specific shots may not have been exactly the same, but you've seen the movie, so that idea, that sense of coexistence and of balance, felt like a way that we could end that would be satisfying, hopefully in a more soulful way, a deeper way.
If our world's gonna survive, what matters is what we do now.
I could use your expertise.
You coming or what?
And What's your relationship with all the memes that spawned from the original, trilogy?
Enjoy them. If I could turn them into little trinkets, I'd do that when I wake up, and then when I'd go to bed, I'd put them all under my pillow.
Do you have your own Funko Pop?
It may seem pathetic, but I have to confess that yes, I have collected. I don't keep a whole museum to myself, don't get me wrong, but I do have on a shelf, I have my action figures, all talking to each other on a shelf. Yeah.
And do you think that this is the franchise where you ran the most?
Yes. Yes.
I ran a lot. I ran a whole lot.
Everybody in this franchise
Yeah,
runs a lot
of
for
running.
some reason.
A lot of
right?
running.
I played a vampire once and I had to run a lot for that, but not nearly as much as running from dinosaurs, especially, cumulatively over the course of 3 films.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of miles accumulated.
What is that?
Biggest carnivore the world has ever seen.
Run!
See? Not so bad.